Okey, Assalamualaikum dan selamat kembali ke FTV. Hari ini kita bahagian kedua kita punya series of podcast dengan Zero Emission Vehicle Association. Selalu kita buat panjang kan, tapi saya rasa kalau saya teruskan ini lagi panjang daripada biasa. Korang tak nak tengok je, kita pecah-pecahkan dalam 30 minit punya segmen. Ini bahagian kedua. Bahagian pertama tu hari kita bercerita semalam lah, kita bercerita tentang keadaan pasaran EV ataupun ekosistem EV di Malaysia. Dan kalau you nak tengok, boleh tengok kat link kat bawah ni ataupun kat atas ni ada kita punya link. Dan kita bersama dengan Presiden Zero Emission Vehicle Association, Tuan Haji Junaizi. Hari ni kita nak cerita tentang Zeva punya wishlist pula, dia punya senarai permintaan lah as it were, untuk bajet 2023. Pasal tahun lepas mereka-mereka yang bertindak di belakang tabir berjaya mendapatkan pelepasan cukai import dan juga duty excise dan juga penggantungan sementara cukai jalan. Dia panggil apa? Lesen
road tax lah.
Ya, kita panggil road tax, but the actual terminology is bukan road tax, dia lesen apa entah. Datuk Syahrul dia tak suka sebut road tax pasal kita dia tak pakai itu road tax kan. Okey, so Raji boleh cerita sikit tentang you punya wish list untuk bajet tahun 2023 ni.
Okay, thank you Tuan Haji Samsul. Again, terima kasih banyak kepada Tuan Haji Samsul yang menjemput Ziva ke sesi ini. Alright, wish list Ziva pada tahun ini adalah untuk bajet tahun ini adalah few things yang kita rasa more inclusive lah kepada semua yang terlibat dalam industri EV kat Malaysia ni, the value chain of EV kat Malaysia ni. We thank the government for providing incentive last year, zero road tax, and then zero import tax, and then excise duty pun zero, and sampai July sampai July this year is zero SST, and also some tax breaks for those who install chargers dekat rumah kan. So we really thank the government for that. So for this year, kita what we want from the government is a more inclusive punya incentive yang address the rest of the supply chain dekat EV ni or dalam EV industry ni. So what I mean by that is we want to target this year, we want to get, kalau boleh, hopefully incentive for the charge point operator companies. We think that charging infrastructure as well as the EVs themselves have to come hand in hand. Kena ada they both of them together kena ada. Sebab without the charging infrastructure, this the EVs cannot get its fuel, because electricity is going to be its fuel, right? So that's why we feel that the charging infrastructure perlu mendapat a few incentive. So one of the incentive is yang kita minta, the first one is tax breaks lah. Okay. Dari segi importation of charging point operator, charging point punya equipment, ya. Dari segi for the companies, tax break dari segi company tax. That's one area yang kita minta daripada government. Yang keduanya ialah about the fleet punya operators. Because we feel that daripada last year sampai sekarang, kita nampak trend fleet operators seperti bus operators dan juga taxi operators yang nak tukar kepada EV. And the impact of these companies ni to move from ICE vehicles kepada electric vehicles untuk dia punya fleet will be very high. Sebab dia akan tukar sekali, I don't know, banyak lah compared to satu yang individual owners ada.
You ada of statistik tak on like berapa peratus penjimatan ke pengurangan dari segi kos operasi ke?
Sedang yang tu sedang dikaji lah all those things kan. Tapi of course
significant lah.
Definitely significant. Already kita dah buat, I know that TNB has done a study earlier, di mana kalau kita compare RON 97 dan RON 95 dengan minyak, dengan charging gunakan tarif, the current tarif, there is a saving of between 30 to 50%,
right,
in a year, when it comes to cost of using EVs.
30%.
30 to 50, yes, depending on.
Fleet operators are happy to get 5% savings.
I mean
So
this is
30% tu satu macam free money lah, betul kan?
I mean that's the study yang kita buat. Based on certain yang TNB buat, sorry, not kita. TNB buat based on certain assumptions and conditions lah. Jadi bila fleet operators ataupun these public transportation punya companies ni boleh save dia bahan api, then they can transfer that saving tu kepada pengguna, kepada the public lah. So not only they can gain revenue yang bagus, daripada ini, and demand yang bagus daripada pengguna. At the same time, they help the government to achieve the government's punya targets, So the impact of fleet is also very high pada Ziva, and then that's why we pushing for some incentive for that group of businesses lah yang nak tukar kepada EVs.
Sekarang ni apa insentif yang sedia ada untuk untuk company lah yang melibatkan kereta elektrik? Adakah dia orang akan dapat cukai tax break yang lebih kalau beli kenderaan elektrik? Ke ada some green technology punya rebate kan?
Ada JITA dan GT lah, GITE memang ada. Tapi dia kena apply daripada.
Okay, so kadang-kadang kami tak tahu pun. Boleh cerita sikit apa benda JITA tu, macam mana cara dia nak apply, dan siapa yang qualify kalau you tahu?
Okay, for companies yang I think if you go to certain website, is it KASA or something, memang dalam tu ada cerita about this tax breaks.
Okay.
Green incentive tax allowance dan green incentive tax exemption, sebenarnya ada dua condition ni. The detail, sorry, saya tak berapa conversant about it, but you welcome to go to the website of this agency yang boleh bagi these tax breaks ni to get the details. But at the moment, those are the only incentive yang ada for companies who want to move towards green punya technology ni. Memang dah ada, but we think that there should be specific tax breaks to be given to the transport sector. I mean, yang tadi tu JITA dan GT tu untuk general lah. Ini general
mana-mana
syarikat yang boleh.
Kayaknya kalau you beli syarikat kereta untuk syarikat pun boleh dapat claim benda tu kalau you beli kereta elektrik.
I think so. Sorry, I'm not very conversant of the conditions of JITA dan GT. Tapi there's always the references yang I mentioned tadi.
Selalu sebelum ni kalau saya faham benda tu, selalunya orang cerita pasal solar panel lah, ataupun benda macam tu lah kan. Tapi yelah, ini zaman baru kan, saya baru terdengar benda ni balik.
Betul. Jadi for companies atau fleet operators yang nak move to EV, they can actually apply for that. Tapi we feel that more incentive should be given in terms of tax breaks, tax allowance, corporate tax breaks. Okay. So itu selain daripada tu apa lagi? Yang ketiga yang kita juga try to get is also for the EV buyers, we hope to be able to extend the zero import duty, zero excise duty beyond 2023, end of 2023 lah.
Right.
Sebab we feel that the timing of that allowance, two tax allowances tu came on in an unfortunate time where the supply of EVs is now quite difficult, quite limited also. So we feel that a bit more time should be given for the market, for the suppliers to be able to provide the supply of vehicles, EV vehicles ke Malaysia ni. And when that happens, then only probably we can when there's not many the supply is good, then maybe lah barulah kita boleh think about stopping that incentive. But for now, we feel that another 2 or 3 years would be good for the government to extend the tax incentive too, in order for the market to catch up with the supply of EV kat Malaysia.
Okay. So I see kat sini you punya request ialah untuk CBU sampai Disember 2024, CKD sampai Disember 2026.
Ya.
Which is 2 tahun. Tambahan ke?
Ya, 2 tahun lah kan daripada for 2024 tu setahun lah.
Setahun lah kan. So, kenapa minta sikit sangat? Kenapa tak minta lebih sikit? Sebab apa? Kenapa saya tanya macam tu? Sebab semua orang cakap masalah battery supply ni akan mungkin persist sampai maybe 2024. Right? So, kalau masalah bekalan bateri dan bekalan kereta ni masih lagi persist sampai 2024, you minta sampai 2024,
Yalah, betul lah. I mean, I think the spirit at that time is we want to make sure that the government can consider the incentive yang kita minta ni, extension ni. Kalau kita minta lebih kan, government will definitely, will say it's just too much lah for us to minta, because we understand actually all this tax ni actually income to the government kan. So when we minta tax breaks ni, then they will have to somehow find ways to actually replace or supplement whatever yang dia dapat dalam giveaway tu. Jadi that's always whenever we engage with the government, that's one of the things yang dia akan mention kat kita lah.
betul.
So
saya sebenarnya curious tentang kira-kira ni lah kan. Untuk bila kita push, katalah nak minta tax break, how much tax are they foregoing? Berapa banyak tax yang dia terpaksa tak kutip, dan apakah benefit yang dia dapat? Ada tak kiraan yang macam tu?
Okay, bila kita engage dengan the government, memang diorang minta kan kita some studies and some statistics, some calculations, economic benefit of providing these tax breaks ni. Memang dia minta pada kita. Jadi kita sedang usaha untuk mendapatkan all those figures lah. We are working on it, Tuan Samsul. Ziva punya team, and we've got a subgroup dalam Ziva ni that is actually looking at these issues and studying, and hopefully by next year we should be able to come up with some figures yang more compelling for the government to make that decision lah. This study ni we want to make it as comprehensive as possible, and also convincing enough for to show to the government that the benefit is outweighs all the other issues yang kita ada kat Malaysia ni lah, especially in the transportation sector ni. Yeah, so it's in the works lah basically. If you ask about the figures dan the study ni,
Hopefully ini dapat cepat dihasilkan lah, sebab dan pada saya ni semua bullet lah untuk kita pakai.
Betul.
Selagi tak ada angka-angka ni, dia orang tak nak dengar cakap kita macam like just waffling away kan.
Yeah.
So to me nampak at the very least ada 3 area lah yang benefit, yang you will get: health, environment and economic benefit lah.
Yeah.
At least 3 lah. So easily yang kita boleh, hopefully you'll get those numbers lah kan.
Yes. In general, those are the areas, but we need to supplement those dengan all the figures lah, all the statistical punya analysis lah. Yes.
Ya, benda paling asas sekali dalam tax incentive ni, saya rasa yang dia boleh offset straight on the books is tax break versus fuel subsidy, which immediately should be, I think, everybody punya mantra lah. Satu kereta berapa jimat fuel subsidy over 5 years, at least 5 years. I mean the car's lifetime could be 10 years, but kita kira 5 years lah, just to show how convincing it is kan. I think that study kita masih belum dapat lagi, dan hopefully you guys will lead the way lah.
InsyaAllah.
Okay. So anything else yang dalam your wish list?
Yeah, the other area yang kita minta is also the financial punya institution lah. We also requested banks to offer 1% financing rates for all types of EV purchase. We are trying to advocate here is every part of the supply chain should play its role.
Right.
Should do its part lah in fighting for this cause.
Okay.
So one area is in the financing of EVs for people to purchase.
Okay.
So we want to make it affordable for people to purchase, at the same time enhancing the financial punya market. Kalau
cars EVs are more affordable, then more people will be able to purchase, and therefore the benefit to the financial institution juga to provide the financing kan, the loans kan.
So how macam mana dia punya argument dia kepada bank ni? Macam mana dia punya benefit dia bila dia
Itulah.
bagi low interest tu?
Sure, banks also ada dia punya ESG punya ambitions kan. So of course they can do their own thing by maybe putting solar on their buildings ke, use EVs as their official cars ke, but it is one area is also to provide this special financing to those wanting to move towards EVs. So we feel that that is one of the areas when they can play their part in increasing the advocacy of EVs kat Malaysia.
Macam minggu lepas kita ada dengar satu announcement daripada bank di Australia, one bank in Australia yang kata dia akan berhenti membuat pembiayaan kepada kenderaan berpencemaran menjelang 2025. Dia stop completely lah kan. Tapi di kat Malaysia ni bank negara punya ESG reporting untuk financial institution mula 2024 kan. There's still no kind of any requirement. It's just for reporting je. There's no I mean nobody's looking at the report and giving a grade or whatever lah kan. So what kind of ESG incentive as it were you think bank negara should give to banks? Because I ada sebut lah benda ni dalam last week, antara benda yang memang I setuju, but sekarang ni I nak cari orang yang dalam industri yang tahu apa benda cara kita nak incentivize bank ni. Kan? Adakah macam ni? I don't know how. Is there you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean one area yang kita boleh nampak is dia punya corporate tax lah. Corporate tax, that's one area yang I rasa macam low hanging fruits lah yang kita boleh address. If companies, tak kira lah company mana, what nature of business, yang show evidence that they are moving towards zero emission, moving towards green punya achieving the green punya ambition ni, should be given tax breaks, corporate tax breaks. That is one area yang I rasa boleh diintroducekan dekat Malaysia ni. So banks for example, they also financial institutions pun ada tax punya, dia punya company tax dia. Jadi that's one area yang mungkin the powers that be, MOF or even bank negara can probably incentivize by giving them those tax breaks kepada banks or financial institutions yang bagi loans dan juga yang move towards, yang show movement towards zero emission vehicles. That is one area. The other area yang kita ni is two-wheelers. Yeah, two-wheelers also is in our proposal. We hope that two-wheelers punya group can also benefit from the government punya tax breaks. The importation of EV bikes should be given incentive as well lah, so that EV two-wheelers ni kalau kita buat betul-betul kat Malaysia ni, I see that there's potential benefits to the masses. Because kat Malaysia ni penggunaan penggunaan motosikal, kadar penggunaan motosikal is besar.
Betul.
Jadi kalau kita boleh somehow influence diorang ni untuk menggunakan EV, saya rasa dia punya impact dia is quite big also dekat Malaysia ni. Not only in the environment side of it, but also in the ecosystem side of it. Actually dah ada a few companies yang if you see from news portals kan, yang dah come up with ideas and also proposals to introduce EV motorbikes kat sini. Cuma saya rasa a bit more awareness and also knowledge to be imparted to the public should be there lah.
Well, we had I think masa awal 2000 dulu ada siapa buat masuk, I tak ingat lah, Modern Nas buat masuk tu.
Oh ya, modern.
CT1S ke benda ke, lepas
Chris.
tu
Ya.
kan. And then
Chris
something like that lah. So motosikal tu yang kelakarnya pada masa tu dia tak cukup power. So they were also, because motosikal tu dah tak tahu dia buat masuk, tak popular lah. Dia bagi giveaway sebagai door gift. So one of our friends menang media. So cuma dia punya battery life dia tak tahan lama. Dan masa tu saya dekat New Straits Time Cars, Bikes and Trucks, and the one person yang pergi ambil motor tu untuk review was kawan kita dekat Kareta lah, Hazri. So bila dia uji benda tu dekat slope yang agak landai pun tak boleh naik. So mungkin masa tu teknologi tak ready lagi. Of course. But and now teknologi mungkin dah ready. Cuma kita tak nampak anybody yang come up with a serious and proper proposal lah. Kan? Ada juga yang kita pergi tengok di Bangi, dia modify Yamaha Y-Suku dengan elektrik tu. But those are all off the shelf, battery pack, motor and BMS, and they just integrate lah. And the thing is, people memang betul-betul excited bila kita carry story tu. Yang bawa motor semua excited lah, tunggu bila dapat. Pertama sekali harga dia mahal. Dia punya harga will not be below 13,000 kata dia. So that's already a disadvantage. Dan yang keduanya, saya uji motor tu, saya ingat sebulan lebih lah lepas benda tu mula keluar.
Y-Suku
dia Y-Suku, dia modifykan pakai ni. And dia pakai CCS saja semua. So it's a nice integration. I quite like it. Cuma bila I dapat tu, motor tu about 2 months old lah. Dah ramai dah orang uji semua. The bike is far from ready for production because simple aja benda ni. So benda tu banyak torque, right? So bila kita bawa, and I bukan boleh, tak keluar pergi ke jalan pun, dia dalam apa dia panggil tu, UKM punya
campus.
Dia macam specific place where for R&D, campus R&D dia. So dalam tu je kita bawa, and every time kita koyak habis lah, orang kata kan, dia punya gear tu slip. Dia pakai belt drive, notch belt, dia slip. So which means that within 2 months benda tu dah ada masalah. So it's far from ready lah for production benda begitu. And the thing is, people dah nak, tapi there just no serious efforts lah to come up with production ready punya benda kan. Ada orang tunjuk kereta elektrik kan, orang semua kata, bila. I mean that's just proof of concept, it's not even prototype yet, you know kan. But people tak faham ni level tu kan. You buat proof of concept, nak you buat prototype, mana baru you nak commercialize that prototype kan. It's a long process, and people tak faham benda tu. And also the other thing yang nak membantu rakyat biasa ialah conversion lah.
Conversion.
So conversion macam mana Ziva punya stand on conversion?
Bila kita tengok several countries out there yang dah really take advantage, really benefiting from this conversion punya industry, we think that we should be also doing it here. Tapi itulah, dengan conversion ni, I think regulation plays a very big role. Because conversion ni bermakna kita gunakan kenderaan ICE, chassis kenderaan ICE, dan kita buang dia punya engine, kita bubuh motor dan bateri dan sebagainya lah, retrofitting. So the issue here is safety and safety lah, basically safety. Sebab the dynamics of the car will change when you put all these things. Batteries will make the car heavier. The motor will make the car more powerful, and because of that you need to probably change the brakes, to change the other things, you know. Jadi yang bersangkutan dengan safety. Jadi saya rasa the regulatory bodies dekat sini are concerned about that. Jadi if this conversion ni ada di sini, dia kena datang dengan a proper test punya area, a test punya criteria, you know, and also test area tadilah juga. Sebab saya rasa to make sure that the chassis and the actual body of the car can actually take the changes whenever the car is converted from ICE to to internal combustion engine to electric.
So
I think that is one area yang saya rasa perlu ada, the government has to come up with guidelines, come up with some standards dan sebagainya lah, untuk make sure that the safety is really catered for lah, before such conversions takes place, and you know, the public can do it freely lah.
So interesting ni, selalu kita tak fikir jabatan kerajaan ni sebagai satu sumber untuk inovasi yang besar lah. Tapi saya ingat 2 bulan lepas kot mungkin ada keluar gambar daripada JKR.
Okay.
Dia orang buat conversion untuk Pajero.
Okay.
So saya ada peluang untuk borak lah dengan the person yang in charge tu. Dia cerita benda tu sebenarnya pada awalnya dia orang duk fikir macam mana cara nak prolong the life of dia orang punya Pajero. Sebab they need rough road vehicles, but there's no budget for it. Right? So dia orang dah fikir macam mana nak buat. So as kind of rough numbers, dia orang just kira congak dia kata kalau kita convert EV boleh ke. So this person kata dia punya, I don't know whoever the head of department ke pengarah, dia kata as long as benda tu you ambil daripada existing budget maintenance kan, dan okey lah. So I think they figure out, okay, kereta ni dia punya budget maintenance tinggal sekian lagi, kau ambil. So they managed to put it together within 2 months. A working prototype. Yang what's interesting is that benda tu just as a one-off yang dia orang just nak cuba je.
Betul.
Got so much attention that even JPG pun, because they had to get apa orang panggil, exemption for the vehicle. For it to be tested lah pakai atas jalan raya. So dia orang minta exemption, nanti dia punya ketua pengarah minta kat JPJ punya ketua pengarah, dapatlah 1 year exemption untuk benda tu. So bila JPJ tengok, kata kau buat apa? Oh, conversion. Siapa yang buat kan? Dia kata, alah kau risau apa? Yang sign ni semua IR kan? Aku ada IR mechanical, aku ada IR civil, aku ada IR electrical. So dia orang yang sign kan. I mean I'm asking for 1 year exemption lah. On that pretext dia macam betul juga kan, JKR has all the skills, and in fact JKR is the advisor to the government when it comes to all things mechanical, civil, electrical kan. They are the advisory body. So bila dia dah buat tu, and it became quite apparent that this thing will work. I mean the first model wasn't designed for highway use. Dia up to 50-60 km per hour je dia boleh pergi maximum speed, and the range pun tak jauh mana. But what was interesting is that the guy cakap benda ni kita boleh design so that it's not expensive, sebab kita tahu exactly the daily mileage usually untuk benda ni kan, and it's not that far, because benda ni selalu kita pergi, dia akan duduk setempat tu untuk buat kerja, dan dia balik. Right? Sometimes the laluan tu agak kasar sikit, but the battery the size that we need is not big.
Oh, okay.
And the power from the motor also doesn't have to be big, because kita bukan nak bawa laju.
Okay.
And kita off-road, dia tak bawa laju pun kan. It's just the torque that you have is sufficient. Which is, the numbers yang dia bagi tu sama macam torque a 2.5 liter engine.
Okay.
So which is enough for dia orang nak pergi tempat kerja dia orang lah. So what they've decided to do is do a second version. Generation 2 was signed off for work minggu lepas.
Okay.
So this next one will be the template untuk vehicles yang boleh lalu atas highway. So it'll be fast enough to go on the highway. I think if I'm not mistaken, they have a range of like 100 plus kilometers, which is enough for them.
Okay, I see.
Which I said that is a brilliant solution, and the cost is going to cap at a number which I thought, wow, if you manage to do that at that price, then it's good lah. But what is even more interesting is that because dia orang semua yang design ni semua are professional engineers, they are apparently been asked to help with formulating a guideline of how to do the EV conversion.
Yeah, overseas there are kits, you know, ready-made kits for you to convert your cars. I have a 1973 Volkswagen Beetle as my weekend car lah basically. Memang, and then when I saw when I look at YouTube, there are people converting this Beetles ni, Volkswagen Beetles ni into electric tukar bawa keluar engine ganti dengan motor. And I teruja, I wish that such kits are available here, because I also kalau boleh I nak tukar juga my
maybe Ziva should do like a study on macam mana, how do they do it kat sana, apa certification yang dia ada, because Indonesia dah start.
Okay.
Hari tu masa Art of Speed, the organizer,
Art of Speed.
this a custom punya car show.
Yes.
The organizer bawa satu garage di Indonesia nama Elders Garage.
Okay.
And they do specifically kit untuk Vespa 150.
Okay.
Dia tak buat benda lain, satu benda je dia buat, Vespa 150. So basically dia orang beli battery pack kosong, dia orang beli motor, they design the swing arm and they integrate, and now you boleh pergi dekat authorized workshop in Indonesia untuk buat conversion.
Oh, okay.
So dia orang dah ada cara untuk buat benda tu lah. So I think kat sini I don't know lah. Hari tu masa ada datang Ziva buat satu perjumpaan dengan JBJ Road Transport.
Oh ya, MOT tu.
Dekat Putrajaya kan. And it seems that they are willing to listen if somebody can help them. So again, hopefully Ziva boleh
Okay. We take note of that. Yes. InsyaAllah.
so JKR is going to do this already. I think that's a major stumbling block being removed lah kan. At the very least, if they can commercialize just a Pajero punya pack, it will be fantastic already kan. And okay. So I also notice dekat dia punya fast charging untuk CPO punya incentive ni ada dua benda yang interesting. Tadi disebut corporate tax allowance untuk CPO business
Betul.
for both public usage, home usage and associated energy storage. Apa maksudnya associated energy storage?
Okay, energy storage ni basically batteries lah. So batteries, we feel that especially those batteries yang kita pasang dekat rumah, that can become a source of energy to the network.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever that is battery storage. Battery kereta pun boleh juga jadi as source of energy to the network. V2G technology, vehicle to grid technology, it has been some countries have even practiced it. Dekat Singapore they are testing it already. So here in Malaysia banyak teori daripada practical lagi sekarang ni lah. But we see that as a potential. Ziva sees that as a potential for what we call the demand side management lah. Demand side or DSM. Demand side management ni is where the demand provides the demand side, which is consumers basically, provides energy back to the grid.
Sekarang ni yang ada ni ialah hanya daripada solar je kan?
Solar, yes, solar.
So that's the only demand side management that you have right now. You pasang
correct.
solar kat atas rumah.
Yeah, through the net energy metering
Net
lah
energy
kan.
metering tu
NEM
lah.
lah.
Okay.
Yeah, so sekarang ni kalau kita boleh pasang bateri juga dekat rumah as a storage, or maybe your car becomes a source of storage, that can become also a source of energy to the grid as well. So we see that as a potential, and that's why we put it in the proposal that if we have that, if your rumah kita ada tu, we should be given some tax allowance for us to consumers to and others to also adopt that kind of solution lah.
So this thing seems like macam is that something that TNB will be okay with?
We have not engaged dengan TNB lagi on this because when they use battery, they use solar, then they can become self-sufficient sebenarnya. And maybe not very good for TNB punya business, kan? So tapi I think
But I think that's kind of a thing in the past already. Because mengapa? Because moving forward, it seems to me more and more people akan duduk dekat strata properties. They won't have a chance to do this unless you pasang battery at every single unit lah.
betul.
Kan? And even if you pakai battery every single unit, you nak sufficient apa, you tak ada solar.
Betul.
Right? So I don't see that as a real problem. And anyway, I don't see berapa banyak kilang yang boleh pasang cukup solar untuk dia never rely on you. Kan? Untuk industry and commercial,
Yeah,
that's not going to be.
You need very very big space, very a large generation punya capacity for solar farms lah, or solar punya source lah.
Cuma will this actually bantu TNB tak in the long run, in the big picture?
We feel so because saya rasa because this will provide relief for the picking plants kepada TNB punya picking plants.
where we will not be having a lot more picking plants available in the future, because this will actually shave. We call it peak shaving. You can shave the peak by using this sort of DSM ni. Tapi we need the masses lah. Satu dua saja tak guna. Kita kena ada banyak battery storage, banyak EVs yang whenever they are connected to the grid, they become a source of energy for the grid whenever the grid needs it.
You rasa patut ke pihak kerajaan, this is one of my little babies lah, I nak push for this idea that untuk future developments, setiap square foot of development should come with a certain amount of battery.
It is an idea. It's an idea kalau kalau there is demand for it, kalau there's benefit for it, I think the government should make a decision there lah. At the end of the day, the government, ST, Suruhanjaya Tenaga, Kementerian KETSA dan sebagainya will have to make that call lah. I mean,
the reason I sebut is because I think 2 weeks ago kita dapat satu news daripada US. Ada satu power operator dekat Vermont. Dia pasang Tesla Powerwall. Ada 10,000 unit dia pasang dekat customer punya rumah. Tapi semua orang kena agree that bila ada peak power, dia perlukan power, dia ambil power dari situ. And that has helped them to save money. And to me, every time kita nak cerita, better daripada kita cakap save energy, kita cakap save money. Sebab although saving energy is more important than saving money, orang tak faham sangat.
yeah.
So it just shows that dengan benda tu, it's actually more efficient than running peaker plants.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a thing that
It's a benefit definitely. Tapi you need the masses lah. 1, 2 kereta, 1, 2, 3 kereta atau 1, 2, 3 bateri mungkin not enough. But you need pool of this resource.
Are there any kind of studies
for this VPP to work
done
on
on this
virtual
thing,
power plant?
untuk virtual power plant ni?
Ada banyak. If you Google VPP kan, there's quite a number of studies done by many parties. Academicians pun ada buat, even industri pun ada, power companies ada buat, cuma itulah, proliferation is probably the right word yang kita kena guna.
Is it inevitable, do you think?
I don't, maybe not in the near future, but a bit more extended to near future, probably yes.
Okay, there's another interesting thing in your wish list. Allow bulk purchase for electricity for all public charger. What does that mean?
Maknanya kita minta kalau boleh utility companies, TNB dan sebagainya allow CPOs to power up their chargers in India network using bulk purchase.
Maksudnya
11 kV
voltage tinggi.
Okay. And then convert to 415 baru pergi ke diorang lah.
Cik Jun kena cerita sikit ni kan. Kenapa bila you cerita bulk purchase you cakap pasal higher voltage? What? Why higher voltage pula?
Satu is dari segi efficiency of converting the electricity from high voltage to lower voltage, and also the billing side lah, the billing part also lah. So the rates is more bila bulk supply ni dia coming from dia besar, bila dia besar jadi dia punya rate can be lower lah, and losses can be lower also. So dari segi itu efficiency gets higher lah. Jadi that's why we are proposing.
So sekarang ni belum ada lagi ni.
Sekarang ni dia whenever they apply satu
so
kan.
So dia ambil at commercial voltage and low voltage commercial
415 yes, correct.
So 3 phase 415 tu kira low voltage lah.
3 phase 415 kira low voltage, betul.
Low voltage lah. Pasal kalau rumah biasa is 240.
Itu tu single phase.
Single phase kan. Tu semua kira low voltage lah tu.
Yeah, definitely.
So basically kalau high voltage means more efficient transmission,
more efficient,
and less losses, and less cost to TNB lah. Pasal you kena buat your own transformer kat sana lah.
Yes.
You tanggung sendiri lah kat situ.
Something like that,
Okay. So benda ni banyak orang tak faham pasal elektrik ni dia macam magic sikit pada kita sebenarnya. Pada orang kebanyakan elektrik ni macam magic lah. Kita pasang kita tak tahu kenapa lampu tu menyala tapi lampu tu menyala lah kan. And okay. So is there anything else yang you rasa kita macam terlupa ke nak sebut ke apa ke?
I think that's about it. Cik Syamsul,
we covered quite a bit of ni flip dah mention tadi, and these are some of the things yang kita nak fokus for this year's budget. We hope.
Okay, satu lagi before I forget. So you ada target on numbers lah. Which I don't know where your target government punya target lah. This target kat dalam punya slide ni yang kata 50,000 electric vehicle by 2025 ni, ini siapa punya target ni sebenarnya ni?
Oh, ini daripada low carbon mobility.
So 50,000 ni, is this a good target in your opinion?
By 2025. We think so. In fact, targets ni can be given by so many parties. Ini daripada government. I know that TMB is targeting about 30,000 battery EVs by 2025, and this figure should go up to 500,000 by 2030. But as far as the government is concerned, they're looking at 2025 with 50,000.
So the reason kenapa I take the target ni is because it's linked to this lah, to me lah, in my mind, it's linked to 10,000 public charger.
Yeah.
So tadi you ada sebut pasal insentif. Ni to me this is very very important. Like I say, the first thing you mentioned is incentivizing the CPO kan. So at 50,000, that means 5 cars can incentivize 1 charging post. Literally
1 to 5 lah ratio kan.
Basically lah kan. Macam mana you nampak ni this? Macam mana nak because right now you punya permintaan ialah untuk tax break untuk charging equipment. What about the subscription tu? Macam mana because I nampak yang ini yang akan you can incentivize through this. Every car kena incentivize the charging post punya location.
Oh, okay.
Zeva, My EV minta
My Evolve.
My Evolve minta, I don't know, you sekarang ni I think kita akan bagi 2,500. My Evolve minta 10,000. I cakap tak usah bagi 10,000, bagi 2,000
for the home charger.
I cakap jangan bagi 10,000 lah. I cakap kata you boleh maintain 2,500, but beyond that you give 1,000 a year for subscription. For me, this is in my mind. Okay, because the reason kenapa I cakap jangan bagi 10,000 is because 2,500 tu is enough for you to install single phase, right? Or kalau you pasang 3 phase pun maybe low power punya, you top up sikit lah kan. If you are so inclined to install 22 kilowatt punya wall box, I think you can afford it lah, because the additional cost is not that much, right? Unless you nak branded punya item. Kalau dah branded punya item, tu you punya pasal lah, nak belanja mana-mana pun kan. And the reason why I want that 1,000 a year tu is for this.
I see.
Because I tak nak government incentivize directly. Because you bagi tax break untuk beli equipment, that's fantastic. But now I need them to be incentivized to put the charges in the correct place, and only the customer can incentivize.
Faham. So you're saying some incentive should be given to the subscription of apa nama ni, this charging punya plans.
I think it's absolutely necessary. So not
charging plans lah.
It must be given to that. And then it should be split over. The reason why I minta split over 5 years is because let's say you dah first year you dah subscribe to this thing, right? And then you kata first year I don't know anything better, I subscribe to this one, and the subscription I don't know, kan tak lah sampai 1,000 kot kan. It's just like 300, 400, 500, whatever lah it is, right? So let's say you can incentivize 2 operators. So by the second year you dah ada pengalaman sikit dah, you tengok satu ni tak guna sangat, this one is okay, I'll continue with this one, and I see there's another one coming up, so I can swap, you know, and swap for over 5 years. We will incentivize correctly through the owners.
That's an idea, good idea, if you ask me. As far as Ziva is concerned, we have not touched that bit of it, that bit apa benda ni. But we are more focusing on the CPO punya incentives lah.
But is this not for CPO? It's for CPO.
For CPO, tapi incentive can be in various forms.
Oh, you want the stuff?
Yeah, macam yang kita tadi lah, the tax breaks and apa tu, corporate tax break as well as the importation of charges kan. So yalah, benda-benda macam tu yang kita Ziva duk tengok lah. But this is another you mentioned tadi tu, another means for us to provide that incentive. I think it's possible, it's good also, but more towards the consumer lah. Kan, consumer dapat that tax breaks. I mean that incentive tadi lah yang
I always believe that to do any kind of tax break, it's better to give to the consumer, biar dia naik ke atas daripada turun ke bawah lah.
Works both ways.
Okay, so is that
I think that's
okay. So
thank you
itu
so much.
saya rasa bagus juga wishlist ni. And kita harap the government can take note of all the wish list yang kita dah share kat sini. Dan think deeply lah about kenapa kita buat benda ni sebenarnya. And lepas ni pun saya nak grill sikit Cik Haji Junaizi ni tentang kenapa sebenarnya kita nak translate ke EV ni. Penting sangat ke? Perlu ke kita nak buat? Kalau nak tengok tu jangan lupa tekan butang loceng tu nanti boleh keluar dapat information. Dan tekan butang subscription dan juga tekan butang kongsi dan like. Bantu kita sikit. Pemandu Malaysia pun yang bernama kita. Jumpa lagi insya-Allah.